Welcome to episode 188 of Watching and Complain. Today, we are watching and complaining about 65.
What about the fucking talk about how we're a book club?
Would you let me get to it?
We're a book club.
For movies and television, where we talk about the plot. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it, then come back. We're going to talk about the plot. All right?
Yeah, you don't need a script at all.
No, that worked.
That was flawless.
That wasn't that bad at all.
That dog sounds like a fucking galloping horse. A little tiny galloping
If you
horse.
break your dog's legs,
I should
no problem.
Snap one of them
Just
off.
be like-
They'll be here. Tip, 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 tip.
welcome to the show.
We watched the movie 65.
I was excited for this movie.
I wasn't excited, but I wasn't not excited. I knew it wasn't going to be very good, but I
liked-
knew it wasn't going to be stupid.
I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. You know this.
And there were
There were good points.
a couple of similar. No, this.
Oh, there was
so-
homages to Jurassic Park. For
There was,
sure,
but
yeah.
there was also okay. So one thing I really like about this movie is
Fuck.
there was homage, and there was I hope enough people haven't seen this other movie we're ripping off, or have forgotten a little bit about this movie we're ripping off, or don't notice this TV show that we're completely ripping off. That's gonna bother you, isn't it?
Yes, I guarantee you, it's heard.
But so we'll just tell people dogs having an aneurysm upstairs. But my favorite thing
Just go,
is so when they crash land and Adam Driver's waking up and he's all in a dizzy spell. There's a
Oh, like that?
sound. Yep, just like that. There's that, and you know what that is? That is the sound that the aliens make in the original War of the Worlds broadcast. Sorry, not the War of the Worlds broadcast. It might be from the broadcast, but I know
That's
for sure
why
it's
you
from the
said
original
War of the
movie.
Worlds, and I
That's
was
why
like,
I went over
what
to you.
the
I'm like,
fuck
dude, this
are
is
you
War of the
talking
Worlds.
about?
And that's one of those things that, okay, that's such an
Literally,
identifiable sound.
We were in the theater, and he goes, War of the Worlds at this point, and I'm like sitting there going, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're like, wow, Rob knows so much about movies, and he's so handsome. Look at the way he's just gluttoning that fucking popcorn into his mouth.
Also, War of the Worlds. What does it matter?
It was from the fucking War of the Worlds.
All right.
There was that. There was one other thing, and now I've totally forgotten what it was. But so there was like the War of the Worlds stuff that was like, that's cool. That's a little homage. I get that. Jurassic Park stuff where when the rain is coming down and you see the dinosaur flash behind it, right out of Lost World. And then there was a couple things that they ripped off. And again, I don't know if you can call it outright ripping off, because the sci-fi genre really rips off from each other all the time.
Yeah.
But they nearly, like down to the fucking line by line, ripped off the movie Pitch Black. Remember the first Riddick movie?
Mm-hmm.
Where the guy's transporting a whole bunch of people that are in cryostasis, and the ship gets ripped in half and all the people get blown up. You're like, guys, you're getting awful fucking close to Pitch Black. But it was enjoyable enough.
Yeah.
It's
better than Cocaine Bear.
No, I like Cocaine Bear more. But one thing I will say for this movie is it knew not to fucking drag itself out. It was a quick movie.
It quickly went to things.
That
I was like, that's pretty quick.
yeah, I was enjoying that, man.
Especially like the intro. I was just like,
Yeah,
here's
right out of the gate.
Here, like, we're just gonna tell you what it is. 65 million years ago, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
There were other planets
You couldn't
besides
just
Earth. There were other
leave it-
people besides humans. So I was like,
It would have been
I
better
like
just
that.
to leave it. Like, let
Nah.
them figure it out on their own.
because then you get those people that are like, I'm so smart. I knew that it was dinosaurs.
But that's
65
fine.
million."
That's how they
Fuck
should
those
be.
people.
I like how they did raptors the correct way, and they were like small. They were like dog-sized raptors.
I thought those were compies.
Those I'm pretty sure were supposed to be raptors, because raptors in real life are that small. 65 million years ago, on the planet Samaris, pilot Mills convinces his wife, Aliyah?
He married Aaliyah?
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
That he should take on a 2-year space expedition in order to gain money to help treat the illness of their daughter, Naveen.
And she was like, dude, 2 years ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah, who cares? It's just 2 years, and
That's
you're,
an
and you're
Aaliyah
helping
joke.
your daughter.
Isn't she the one that wrote the song, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number?
However,
That was Rihanna.
on the journey back, and then you completely lost it. However, on the journey back to Samaras, he crashes into.
No, he was still
I'm
going.
saying what it's written.
It
what's
was
written.
2 years into the mission.
I think so. I think you're right. Well, no, because the whole mission's 2 years.
Oh yeah, okay. Then it was 1 year into the mission because remember he gets the message from his daughter saying you're halfway there. Blah blah blah.
I'm just. However, on the journey back
Fuck you,
to
Wikipedia.
Samaras, he crashes into Earth during the Cretaceous period. With his ship damaged and split in half, he finds that his passengers have been killed and contemplates suicide until he finds a lone survivor,
You know it doesn't make any sense too.
a young girl named Koa.
He was like, what's your name again? She was like, huh? He's like, okay, great. And you're like, I was like, and whenever he's yelling, I was like, wah, wah. I was like, what the fuck is he yelling? And then it wasn't
But
until
that's
later
his
in the
voice,
end.
too.
Yeah.
So
So it wasn't
it's
until later
like-
in the end where he very clearly says, Koa. I was like, oh, her name is
His-
Koa.
His
Okay.
voice always sounds like it's sound modulated. Like
Yeah, because he's a very deep baritone voice. But so, and I get it, it's sci-fi, but these people are just kind of broken out of their cryo tubes, and they're fine, and they're just kind of sinking into the
well, they were.
quicksand
They
and
were.
shit.
Yeah, they
But
just.
they were okay. So they're in a
what's the
fucking
problem?
ship. They should be torn to shreds. They were busted out of a fucking cryo tube.
The cryo tube broke and they slid out.
No, the cryo tubes were like smashed apart open.
Well, then maybe they were frozen and that helped them.
I think they should have been ripped to shreds. But again, it's like a PG movie, whatever.
Yeah. Mills decides to take care of Koa. However, the two have difficulty communicating due to different languages.
One
His
thing
communicator is broken.
I will say, so yeah, that's a science fiction trope that we've
is-
seen since fucking Star
which is
Wars
good.
or Star Trek. Yeah, it works like a charm. But one thing I will say, both of the actors in this movie were fucking great. Adam Driver was spectacularly good. The girl who plays Koa. Do you know what she played before this? I was looking at her and I'm like,
No.
I recognize this girl. I'm like, what the fuck do I recognize her from? Staring at her and staring at her. Had to come home and look it up on IMDb. She was young Gamora when Thanos was talking to young Gamora.
Oh,
that's who
true.
she
Oh,
played.
okay.
Yeah. Because I was like, dude, I've seen her fucking face before. And but yeah, that was very cool.
That is
But
cool.
I thought they were both fantastic. Adam Driver is so good at taking subject matter that is kind of silly and really elevating it and really giving it like a real depth. He is the best part of the sequel trilogy of the Star Wars movies. He is the best part of those movies. Yeah, he just in this it's kind of a goofy ass premise, but he fucking sells it and he's great.
Mills later discovers that the other half of this ship contains a functioning escape shuttle.
One thing I did like too is how a lot of movies where it's an adult talking to a young kid, the person's like super nice. And one thing I really did like about Adam Driver is he's like, yes, we need to go to the other ship. Oh, you don't understand me. All right. And he pours all this like paprika out and he goes, this is a mountain. See? Mountain. We need to walk to the top of the mountain. Do you understand? No? Okay,
No,
well,
I'll do
mountain.
it again. The same exact way.
He's not like, okay, so let's use our indoor voice. He's very direct. He's just like, look, mountain,
you should
climb
in
to the
this
top of the mountain.
situation.
Yeah,
Like,
he's no time for bullshit.
If you can't keep up, you're dead.
Yeah.
A functioning escape shuttle and sends a distress beacon for rescue after he almost kills himself.
How?
He was going to shoot himself.
Oh, that's right. Yep. I thought you meant after he like fell down a hill or something. But yeah, that's right. He was considering killing
Because
himself.
he sent a thing saying, "Don't save us. There's no point."
No point to say
And
this.
then he goes to shoot himself, and then he stops, and then he sends a new message saying, "Blah blah blah, come get us."
No, it was the other way around. He said send help, and then he deleted that one. Re-recorded one saying no need to send help. There's no survivors. And then he was going to go out and shoot himself, and then he heard the blinking.
And then sent out a new one.
He sent it out a while later.
No, I don't think so. Mills tells Koa that they are going to the mountain where the shuttle needed to get off the planet.
He lied to her though. He said her parents are there. That's how he got her to go there.
Although he lies about her parents being alive to encourage her
shit.
to go.
I
with
knew the
him.
next part. I was paying attention.
As they traverse the planet, they bond while Mills protects Koa from dinosaurs that attack them.
Yeah. Now
Which started with the raptors.
this was my only arguable bone of contention. I get why it had to be there, but it felt like there was. It felt very generic. It was like getting along, learning about each other, action. Getting along, learning about each other, action. Like it felt like it was segmented up like that, and I was like, "This is getting a
This
little
is
boring."
where we put these dinosaurs. This is where we put this
Exactly.
dinosaur. Okay, we have 6 dinosaurs. Let's use them.
Also, not enough dinosaurs in this movie. I would imagine that the planet would be covered in dinosaurs.
Would you though?
I kind of
Because,
would,
like, it's
because
a
it's
big
covered in
planet.
people.
You'd think it. Yeah, but you go through a forest, and how many people are you going to run into?
Right, but how many people are living in a fucking forest?
Back then,
I don't know.
mean-
I guess I just expected to see more dinosaurs.
I mean, it's possible you could go through the forest and go through this whole situation and not see a dinosaur at all.
True.
I think there was more dinosaurs than likely there would be.
I thought
I
there
like
should be
the-
more dinosaurs.
That they covered like bugs, like that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that was great when he smacks up and it's all goo and shit. This movie wasn't gory, but it was slimy and dirty. I loved that, man. And
It was gory in one moment, and you loved it at the end.
oh yeah. Oh yes, that was wonderful.
As they spend the night near a cave opening,
Together.
yeah, Koa watches several video messages sent by Naveen, who died from her, which is his daughter, who died from her illness midway through Mills' expedition, which it was sad, but just didn't hit.
Yeah, I don't feel like it was supposed to have a massive impact, but it was to say, okay, here's why he's so protective of her. You know what I mean? So you got oh yeah, his daughter died. Okay, that's why he's so protective of Koa. But-
What it was a surprise. We're talking about that in the other one too.
The Mandalorian,
No, the other one.
The Last of Us,
Yes.
The Lust
same
of
exact,
Ass.
Same. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't take you anywhere. Speaking of which, he started talking about hand jobs in the theater.
Really? I in my defense, I talk
Really?
about hand jobs all the time.
Yeah, that's true. It's out loud, you were like, someone. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, we're sitting there, and 3 people walk in and sit in front of us, and one of them is carrying a little blanket, right? And he starts going off, because I say something silly like,
So, but here's how it goes. Phil goes to me, leans into me. He's like, "We
I'm
should have
quiet about
We
it
should
too,
have brought a blanket." Like that quiet.
as a joke, and then you just jump on it. And out loud start saying, "Oh, it's fine to have hand jobs and blankets and stuff." And you could tell the people in front of us are super quiet for the rest of the movie. And
best though-
he's probably not using the blanket for the whole movie because he's so scared that people will think he's getting a hand
The
job.
best so is I'm loud enough that I'm like, you're like, we should bring a blanket. But yeah, if you bring a hand or a blanket to the movies together, you give me a hand job under it. And I'm like, that the whole fucking theater is like, oh my God, this obnoxious bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. And you were like, shut up. Be quiet.
I wasn't. I was just like, oh,
Oh,
God.
that was good. But then the best too. So
I was laughing. No, it was funny.
I'm watching this movie, and I love audience watching. So whenever there's parts, I'm like looking at the audience, especially jump scare parts. I'm looking at the audience. The only fucking person jumping in this
Oh my
theater
God, yeah.
was fucking you.
But they took all the jump scares and put them at the front of the movie.
They really did. It was really
And then there
front-loaded.
was nothing at the
Yeah.
end.
Or you would you knew when they were going to happen, so you could, man, right at the start.
The start, it
you
was
were
just
"Huh."
like jump scare, and I'm like, come on, don't be like this the whole time.
It's funny.
I hate jump scare movies.
Oh, that made me laugh.
The 2 are attacked by a giant theropod, which they injure before hiding in the cave. After a rock falls,
They didn't talk about that bug that he pulled out of her mouth.
no, they didn't, because they bypass over.
But
the
again,
small
it was
thing.
great because it's in her mouth and it's all this goo going outside of her mouth. And then he grabs it, pulls it out, and then she's up chucking everything. I'm like, this is a grimy movie.
And it's a
great.
good like distraction to what's happening.
Yeah.
Because something's happening. It's like pulsing lights happening because they have like
But
this
then
laser fence.
It was, and you could tell like this scene when they were writing it, they're like, all right, I got a scene in my brain to get us here. And it's, they're standing up, they're looking around, and the fucking lightning flashing. There's a big T-Rex outside. That was just great. There were so many
They
scenes
thought
like
it was
that.
going to come from in the cave, but it was
They
behind
thought
them,
it was that little hole that was in front of them was great.
and it's a theropod. After a rock fall separates them, the two fend for themselves before reuniting. So
And that
different
was-
dinosaurs.
It was at that point where I was like, huh. So remember in The Mandalorian, he sells Grogu, or he gives Grogu to the chief or the Imperial officer. I can't remember. He's got a name. Played by Werner Herzog, and gives him to him, and then he kind of can't live with it, so he goes back for the kid. That was really what this really felt like. Granted, they were like separated by the rock, but this is where I started like, dude, this is really like The Mandalorian.
This is where I was like, these dinosaurs are too smooth.
Smooth as in the way they appear.
Yeah, like
Okay.
the CG is just like a smooth, like almost like a newt texture, like
Yeah.
that kind of like a frog.
Yeah,
And
like
I
a
was just
frog.
like,
Yeah.
where's the scale? Like, it doesn't transfer it. Like, at least give me feathers. Like,
I felt like there was one, and maybe it was the Raptors, where they looked like they had the little start of feathers.
Yeah,
but maybe it was
possibly.
just scaly
because
skin.
raptors are like leading into birds,
Yeah.
like more so than T-Rexes were, but T-Rexes were doing that as well. But like, it just was too smooth to me, and it just felt like CG the whole
Maybe
time.
they shaved
Yeah,
or
probably.
waxed.
They probably had that one feather that was annoying them, and then they shaved it off.
He probably waxed his raptor
Whapped
bikini
it.
zone.
Whapped it.
His wet ass raptor.
Whop.
Whopper. No, I guess it'd be Warp. His wet ass raptor pussy.
Mills also discovers that an asteroid whose debris caused their ship to crash will strike Earth in less than 12 hours, triggering
Yeah.
a catastrophic extinction event.
Now, this is-
the catastrophic.
This is where I was like, you know what?
Too much?
Yeah, because the science fiction was a bit out the window
It's-
for this.
it's-
but I was like, okay, I get it. And it was cool. It was a cool idea that, oh my God, that's the asteroid that killed the
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
well, that's the original idea, where
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, we have this guy who goes back in time, or that's what I thought it was going to be. Like he's traveling back in time, but it's really he's from a different planet,
planet,
that
yeah.
was around in that time.
Which is cool. I did like that. I liked everything about the movie. It was just when the asteroid coming to Earth to destroy the dinosaurs. You
You
that
have
this
a
thing.
huge problem with this.
I did only because, like, okay, when this thing got like into our atmosphere, it would be fucking vaporizing oceans. Like this thing was humongous. It basically shook and cracked the fucking planet. So
But how do you put that in there? You just can't.
you don't. You
this-
also you don't include it. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, that thing
it didn't need it.
is a world destroyer.
It didn't need it.
But I think it did, and it would have been like, dude, that thing's a world explorer. We need to get out at least 5 hours before it hits.
Sure.
And then you have that be the countdown. Oh my God, we got to close up. Like that would have been, and then you show the ocean starting to sizzle as it enter the atmosphere, and that's when they're taking off. I would have been 100% on board with
The
that.
asteroid doesn't matter.
I-
Like it matters in the grand scheme of things, sure, but it doesn't matter in the story.
I think it did
Because
it,
you could
it
have
was
done
a good countdown.
You could have
device.
done this 10 years prior, and it would have just been like, you escaped the dinosaurs. Fine.
I guess.
You escaped
I
three
liked having
fucking
it-
dinosaurs.
I liked having it as a countdown device.
3 T-Rexes
It
you
was
just
just-
defeated. That was enough.
I just feel like it should have been a bigger asteroid. That would have been a lot more fun.
And when they did the reveal of like the first 2 T-Rexes about to fight him, and that was like totally from the Lost World again. Like this director or writer
He
loved the
loved the
Lost
Lost
World
World.
so much. and then he kills the 2 T-Rexes, and then another one shows up, and it's
I gotta admit too, his gun had a kick-ass sound to it. It didn't sound
it was different.
like regular fucking like pew 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 laser guns. It had everything about this movie had a cool, distinct,
Different.
original,
Yeah.
different sound.
We'll get into this. The 2 reach the ship, but Koa is angry when she discovers that Mills lied to her because her parents weren't there.
And I do love how he just says to her, like, yeah, dude, sorry, I had to fucking lie to you to get you here. And they're in the cave together. He's like, look, Your parents are dead. When we get there, they're not going to fucking be there.
I did tell you.
You don't understand what I'm saying, but that's fucking fine. We got to go.
Mills opens up to Koa about losing Naveen and promises to protect her. Upon learning rescue is on the way, the two board the escape shuttle, but the asteroid's debris causes it to fall down the mountain, upside down.
Yep.
Mills and Koa manage to fend off two large T-Rexes, but
Were they T-Rexes?
they were something of
There was
that sort.
something big dinosaur.
Probably supposed to be
Yeah.
T-Rex, but
I
smooth.
watching the movie, I was like, I couldn't really, like, you said they were raptors, and I was saying, I couldn't really determine what these dinosaurs
I
were.
think the point was to try to get as close to realism, like
Maybe,
based
yeah.
on what was
Or
real.
you know what? We don't know what all the fucking dinosaurs were. So this is like a Goofysaurus or whatever the fuck they wanted to come up with.
But the predator that they injured prior, the theropod, I guess, injured prior, starts attacking them before the two manage to
Oh
kill
shit!
it.
Yeah, when the one that he had shot in the face.
Yeah, it came back. It showed its face. That was your. Yeah.
I tell you, man, I've seen some angry people when I shoot in their face.
Injured prior starts to attack them before the two manage to kill it with a
Bone.
geyser blast. Well, so yeah, all the things came back. So they used the illuminated
The hologram.
the
thing.
hologram.
Also, I'd like to point out that we used the term facial blast in their face and geyser blast all within like
Remember
5
during the
seconds of each
movie, I
other.
was like, "This is gonna come back.
Yeah.
This is gonna come back." It was just too obvious.
And it was good. It
was good.
Remember, it gave you a jump scare right when it first fucking happened.
So the first geyser, yes. So yeah, this geyser blast that killed the dinosaur.
That's why you got to warn before that geyser blast goes off. You have to warn.
you loved it.
I did, and he's like pew 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 pew, firing at the dinosaur, and then Koala comes in, and she jumps up. She wrapped. They found these strawberries that were poisonous.
Obviously raspberries, but not
and
good for us.
She wrapped it up and she fucking stabs her right in the other eye. And then it goes like, oh shit, I'm all blind. And it goes for it, and it goes right on top of one of these geysers of fucking superheated water, and it blows up. And then when you see that fucking T-Rex drop, all of its skin is gone, and it's just its muscles and putridity is just all. It was wonderful. I thought it was fucking fantastic.
It's your favorite way to die.
Yep.
The two quickly
Getting covered in hot steam.
It wasn't just steam. The two quickly return to the ship and blast off away from the planet towards rescue as the asteroid collides with Earth. Again, not needed. As the credits roll, several images of Earth's landscape are shown from
That
the
was
aftermath of the asteroid's
stupid.
impact until modern civilization, and no one cares.
That was stupid. I'm like, dude, just fucking end this movie. This is dumb.
Yeah, it's like, it's okay to have a stinger,
I
but
felt-
that's not a stinger. That was stupid.
But it felt like, okay, we got 90 minutes. We're just at an hour and a half. We need to go a little bit
Filler.
longer. Yeah. Filler.
That's me. Filler Diller.
Really? That's your last name, Diller?
Yeah.
So your first name is Phyllis and your last name's Diller?
No filler.
Filler Diller.
No,
What's your middle name?
I'm not related to Phyllis.
Phyllis?
No.
Phyllis? Filler? Phyllis
Phallus
Diller.
Diller.
Phallus Diller.
What the hell are we on?
This is green. No, peppermint tea. It's in my Care Bears mug.
I have a mix of the drink that I had last night, which was a McCain's light peach and fruit punch mixed together from the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine, then mixed with a little bit of energy drink, and then mixed with some more McCain fruit punch because that's what I majority.
Eat mostly.
We're sorry that you've been watching Complain
65 million
years
is
ago.
a good film.
Oh,
I would wait till it comes to streaming. It's not a movie that I would pay for to go to the theater, but you know what, dude?
it's good that we're giving that advice after we've just ruined the whole movie for them.
But hey, Adam Driver's good to watch. Koala's good to watch. Dinosaur's good to watch. And there are...
It's a fun movie to pick up for $10 on Microsoft and just have it in your library whenever you're bored. You can just watch Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Talk like this.
He's got a very low
It's
voice.
very distinctive too. I
Yeah.
can't do it. I can't
Also,
do any impression.
I can't really make fun of people with big noses because I have a fucking huge nose. But my fuck, that guy's got a big nose. My goodness. And there's so many close-ups of him that you're like, that guy's nose is fucking big. But
I
we're-
thought Adam was going to have to be with Eve Koa and like start a civilization.
but for
But wouldn't that wouldn't be different than like olden times?
no, because once they show that asteroid in the air, once they show the little blip in the air, when she looks up and she sees something, I'm like, I know where this is going. So, 'cause remember, I asked you. So we're watching it, and I lean over to you. I'm like, how the fuck are they going to explain the ship? And all these fucking people. Like, why didn't we ever find any of those? And then Koala looks up and she sees the fucking shimmer of the asteroid. I was like, I got it.
What would you give this movie out of 10?
I would give this movie a 7 out of 10. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. It was fun to watch.
That's exactly the score I gave my
Holy-
wife. That's not right.
Christ.
That's not the score I
It's
gave my
almost like
wife.
you and I have known each other for 65 million years.
What happened after the movie when we were exiting the movie theater and has happened more than once?
You tried to grab at my penis, and I said, Phil, that's not appropriate, especially not in these jeans. I don't know. I started insulting some millennials.
What bus did
Oh,
we see?
yes, the Jesus bus. So there's a bus in Kingston.
And it says Jesus.
It says Jesus, the Jesus bus and the Jesus Revolution bus. And I think they're coming about that movie, Jesus Revolution. But so they were all fucking tambourining and singing songs about Jesus.
That was the last time we saw
when
it.
we came out of Cocaine
Yeah.
Bear.
And they tried to give me something. I'm like, no. And
You know
I walked
why?
on.
It's because I see them and I'm like, oh, yeah, let's get fucking naked. And, of course, they're not smart enough to hear what I just said. But they're thinking, oh, here's some guys interested. So they're trying to fucking head shit to you. If they try to head that shit to me, I'm like, get your fucking tits out. Let's fucking start rocking and rolling.
Okay, next time that happens, I expect you to do that.
Show me your tits, bitch.
Okay.
For Jesus.
I'll take up my camera and we'll film it. And then we'll put
Especially if she whips her tits out.
it. That'd
If
be
she
great.
says, okay,
well, then it
whip my
becomes a
tits
whole
out.
nother video.
I'll whip my tits out, but you need to pray with me. I'll be like, I'll fucking do whatever you want if you're going to show me your tits.
Naked Girls Gone Wild.
For Jesus.
Not naked.
Jesus Girls Gone
Jesus
Wild.
Girls Gone Wild. Ooh.
Girls Gone Wild for Jesus.
Oh, maybe that's what the bus was for. It's the bang bus.
The bang bus for Jesus. You go in there, there's like a big cross fucking shining.
That's the revolution I want to be a part of.
But what about if they try to crucify you?
It won't work.
Also, as soon as I rip off my pants, they're going to be like, oh, he's Jewish. And then they're going to fucking crucify me.
You're going to keep looking.
They're going to be like, are you one of those transgendered Satanists? And I'll be like, no, I just have a very small penis.
We're sorry we've been here.
We're sorry you've been watching us discuss.
This is why
Jesus
you exit
bus.
the show.
I'd like to exit the show. We're sorry you've been watching Watch and Complain. Please follow us on all of our socials like YouTube, Grindr, Tinder, Finder, Jesus Tinder. Oh, Christian Couples. Find us on Christian Couples, where the guy's taking a selfie outside the bus.
Bare vagina.
Yeah. All right, goodbye, everybody.